Matt Bernie, you're taking a look at graded stakes action from Belmont Park, kicking off the graded stakes action on a action-packed Saturday afternoon. Down in Elmont, race number 6, the Grade 3 Dwyer, a one-turn mile for 3-year-olds. It's a great field. Before we dive into it, let's take a look at the DRF bets situation. Bets.drf.com is where you need to go for all the latest and greatest as far as sign-up offers are concerned for new members, for existing customers, whatever the case may be. There's a little bit of something there for everyone. Bets.drf.com is the address. Let's take a look at the field of 6 3-year-olds going the one-turn mile. And like I said, it's not a giant field, but it is a quality field. We'll begin with the 4-5 favorite, the number 3 Code of Honor for Shug McGahee. He was upgraded. I shouldn't say upgraded. He was elevated to second place via disqualification in this year's Kentucky Derby. He has the highest last out buyer in the field. I've always thought one turn is better for Code of Honor than longer. He basically continued to prove me wrong. But the fact that we get back to this, now maybe this is nothing more than a means to an end, getting him ready for Saratoga, but this is still a race configuration that should really behoove him, should really be to his benefit. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that I think he's a great play in here, simply because from a value standpoint, there are some other salty runners in here, and I just don't know that he has a tremendous edge on this field. Maybe he will prove much the best, but I think you could potentially take a shot against him off the layoff here in this spot. The number 1 Mijos is a horse that actually defeated Code of Honor in a run 2 starts back in the Mucho Macho Man down at Gulfstream Park. They then chose to try to stretch him out in the Holy Bull. Now, the Holy Bull as a race is a disaster, but Mijos, he just never really looked comfortable. He never ran. He's been gone since then, so clearly something must have been a little bit off. Gave him some time. He comes back here in this one-turn configuration for one of the best horsemen in the world, Jimmy Jerkins. It'll be interesting to see what you get. If you get the 5-1 morning line, you could make the case that he is value in here based on what he has done in the past going one-turn configurations, one-turn mile. I kind of want to see what we're going to get off the bench, because this is a pretty salty group. If you've got some nice runners in here, he's going to have him tied on tight if he's going to come out here out of the gates firing and get the job done off the bench. The number 2 is Rowayton, going out for Don Chotlos Jr. This is one of those instances where, well documented, the whole situation with the Jerry Hollendorfer barn. I don't know that that is going to have any effect on a horse like Rowayton. His most recent run, I thought, was spectacular. Facing older horses for the first time, down on the inside, stymied a little bit at the top of the lane, looks like maybe you're going to get bottled up, eventually squeezes through beneath Rosario, and he finished in a very, very impressive fashion. I don't want to say like a turf horse, but he did seem to have a little bit of an acceleration there, which usually I am just way against saying that, because on dirt, usually it's an optical illusion, but I love the way that he had a little bit of energy left in the tank. The 97 is the highest last out buyer in the field. The 121 is the highest last out raw time form rating. I think there's a lot to like about Rowayton. He's 3-1 on the morning line. If you believe you're going to get the 3-1, maybe that's value. Then you also factor in the time form US pace projector. Let's take a look at that. You see there's not a ton of speed signed on here. You see there's 3 horses basically all in a little bit of a bunch. The 2, the 6, and the 4. You know, I don't know that Rowayton's actually going to be on the front. I could see a horse like Whiskey Echo stretching out in distance, taking on better horses. I feel like he got one way to go. The best opportunity for him to win, I think, is to send him. So I could see Whiskey Echo being the one to take control or take the initiative, and then having a horse like Majid and Rowayton sitting just off. Now, as far as Whiskey Echo is concerned, I don't know that his class is necessarily there from a numbers standpoint. He pales in comparison to some of the other horses, and the field that he defeated most recently has just come back very weak. The runner-up is 65, third-place finisher is 74. Granted, the fifth-place finisher did earn an 83, but we're still talking a different area code compared to the horses he'll run against here on Saturday afternoon. As far as Majid is concerned, all of his wins have come in gate-to-wire fashion. I understand he's 2 for 2 at Belmont Park. This is a slight turn back in distance. I just think he's facing much better horses this time around. And what happens when he finally doesn't make the front? Now, maybe it won't be tomorrow. Maybe Majid will be able to clear off to the front. But can he pass horses? I don't know that I need to find out even at 6, 7, 8-1. I'm not trying to sit here and bash the horse because he's basically done nothing wrong. He's 4 for 6 lifetime. I think Rudy Rodriguez does a good job. I got to see a little bit more. I need you to prove that you can overcome some adversity, because this is going to be a pretty salty group. And then we left with the number 5, Final Jeopardy. Now, Final Jeopardy is a horse that I've always been a fan of. Goes out for Jason Service. The Peter Pan, I liked him that day. The distance, I suppose, was a little bit of an unknown going into it. I thought based on the pedigree, it wouldn't be a problem. I don't think he appreciated it. You also take a look and see it doesn't help that you ran against the horse that would have been one of the intriguing choices in either the Belmont or the Ohio Derby and Global Campaign, who ran a hole in the wind. And then the runner-up, Sir Winston, who all he did was come back and win the Belmont Stakes. The run 2 starts back. He ran into horses like Tacitus and Tax, but he was compromised very badly at the beginning. I think you just want to draw a line through that race. The run 3 starts back is the one that, to me, is most indicative of what he could end up being. Maybe this little turn back in distance is going to be beneficial for him. I think he's very interesting in here at odds of 8-1. I'm not picking him on top, but I'll be using him underneath, definitely. Where am I going to go here in this race, the Grade 3 Dwyer? I like Row8. I thought it was a really impressive effort in the N1X company most recently. Second start off the bench here. I don't think the whole situation with the trainers is going to be any sort of an issue for the horse. And I like that he is a little bit adaptable. He can go to the lead. He can sit just off. I think Whiskey Echo goes. I think Row8 and tries to kind of work out a trip similar to what he did in the most recent run. And at 3-1, I think that's probably going to be a fair price. 2 and 5 for me. I want to use some Final Jeopardy underneath. Not super against Code of Honor, but I think you might be able to take a shot against him at a short price in here. Respect him and the connections. Don't know that I need him on top here in race number 6 at Belmont Park Saturday afternoon. You're playing this race, you're playing any of the other graded stakes races at Belmont Park, any races anywhere for that matter. Bets.drf.com is where you need to go. All the details are there for new sign-up members, existing customers, whatever it may be. All sorts of good promotions. Bets.drf.com is the address. Scheduled post time for race number 6, kicking off the graded stakes action at Belmont on Saturday with the Grade 3 Dwyer, 3:55 Eastern. Good luck.